6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship
to the wire. So, good game. Congratulations to them. Delgado, how are you?
I am good.
You still convinced this is the guy?
I'm not sure.
Okay. No, that's enough.
Okay.
Vinnie Mac, how are you?
I'm good, but I'm convinced it's the guy.
Okay.
Of course you are.
I was just going to say, are you convinced it's the guy?
Yeah, I went to McDonald's myself, and I was like, yeah, it feels like it. Feels like it.
Okay, so Vinnie Mac is buying this, and Delgado's not sure. Well, what makes you not sure?
You know what?
Because I think it is the guy now after today.
I feel like it's peer pressure. Peer pressure. No, of course not you.
Oh.
I know you're just playing with me. But all the cool kids are saying this is it's not him. There's something not right about this whole case. Something is just not right. Maybe it is him. It could be him. Chances are it probably is him.
I think it is him after today.
But there's something else here nagging at people. It's like a itch you just can't scratch. I believe.
Mainly my plan of saying now that it is him today is that no matter which way it goes, I've got tape that I can go back to and I can prove myself right.
Right. So you won't lose right, because
pretty much my main.
You've walked both sides of the discussion here. Is that what you're saying?
straddling the fence.
If it works out that it's not him, I'll be playing the tape from Monday, December 9th. And if it ends up that it is him, I'll be playing this tonight.
Why would the guy be yelling when he gets out of the police car about, some cause or whatever if it wasn't him? Like, why would he be pontificating? You saw that video?
He said it's a shared lived experience are the words he used today. Did you hear that?
I did hear that. That's what I'm referring to. Like, why would he be yelling that stuff? It would otherwise just say, it's not me. I didn't do it. That's what I would be saying if it wasn't me. I'd be saying, it's not me.
Yeah.
He may have said that, and they arrested him anyway. So that didn't work. Because usually that's the first thing.
We need Columbo.
First thing bad guys say, it's like, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Right? You get busted with another
Shaggy.
woman while your wife is looking at you, you go, wasn't me.
Wasn't me. Shaggy said that.
Right, exactly. So then you have that problem. And usually, and I'm going out on a limb here, I'm not a criminal, never been one, but from what I've seen in the movies and TV, I do watch a lot of that, most of the criminals say it's not them. So I think he may have said that at some point.
He had a manifesto.
Okay.
Well,
Did he have a manifesto? Because from what I'm hearing now, it's not really a manifesto. It's a series of statements that he wrote down. It's like, okay, well, I do that every night. I write down stuff all the time.
Isn't
This
that
is not a manifesto? This is
Aren't
just
there a couple
script.
things required to be a killer? You need to have a manifesto stuff somewhere, and you need to have 3 names. Isn't that the deal?
Yeah.
But he does have. You know what? I think he does have a middle name. We just don't know it.
Yeah.
Well, you've noticed I refer to him as Vincent Kennedy Buda. That's 3 names, so you never know when things are going to go south here.
And he does do a lot of international traveling. He kind of comes and goes, breezes in, breezes out. He probably walks through most airports, not even being noticed.
I'm an international spy, man of mystery.
Yes. I think the thing I took away most from yesterday, if we're going to be serious for a second, is the unhinged clip that you played from that lunatic Taylor Lorenz.
Yeah.
Is that her name?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Formerly of the Washington Post.
Yep.
I mean, the way the left is almost fantasizing over the death of another human, a father with kids, a husband, I don't care what their relationship was. Even on social media, you're seeing it. It's just it's just sick.
Yeah. Well, you watch the pattern here, which we've seen, by the way, over and over. The pattern with this incident and the pattern with Daniel Penny, the pattern of just not believing these things are true or taking the side of someone who's been, the perpetrator. It's horrible. The left seems to be just on the other side of just right and wrong and the law. What they're doing to Daniel Penny is equally as bad as saying, having, smiling about a CEO getting shot because they don't like healthcare costs. None of us like to pay for healthcare the way it is right now, but the guy should not have been shot. And this Daniel Penny, why is this a racial issue?
Because they have to make it a racial issue.
No, I totally get it.
It's the only way
totally
they're going to make money off.
Yeah, it's outrageous. Just because, and by the way, the guys that helped Daniel Penny, were black.
Yeah, black and Hispanic.
People on the jury, many of them were black. Like I was so appalled by what the Black Lives Matter guy said that he should have been. That's not free speech. That's yelling fire in a building that's not burning down. That's what that guy did. He should be arrested immediately. This loser of an AG won't do it.
Inciting violence, right?
That's exactly right.
Johnson, or whatever his name is.
Hawk Johnson, yeah. Hawk to a Johnson.
Yeah. I mean, that's essentially what he was doing. But again, going back to this with the Taylor Lorenz stuff. I mean,
did you see? Have you seen this clip from this girl from the Washington Post? This lunatic on Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan. I've seen the clip. It's disgraceful. And Piers let her have it.
Yeah.
I mean, good for him, right? Did you guys show the clip yesterday?
We showed it yesterday.
Yeah.
Do we still have it, Aaron? Roll it again. We're going to see how insane she is.
I do believe in the sanctity of life, and I think that's why I felt, along with so many other Americans, joy, unfortunately,
Okay, so
because
stop it right there. I believe in the sanctity of life, she said. Meanwhile, her and her party believe on abortion on demand. So we could just start there with just check your common sense at the door.
Yeah.
But then she immediately follows up, I believe in the sanctity of life, with that she felt joy to see this guy shot, dead. What? Go ahead.
like,
Serious?
I mean,
Joy at
I
the
guess I would
man's
say
execution.
maybe not joy, but certainly not certainly
maybe not
not
joy.
empathy.
Well, you just
Because,
said joy.
again,
We're
this is a
watching
man
the footage.
responsible for
How can this make you joyful? This guy's a husband, he's a father, and he's being gunned down in the middle of Manhattan. Why does that make you joyful?
Thousands of Americans that be murdered. So are the tens of thousands of Americans, innocent Americans.
Let's just pause it. What is the equivalent she's drawing here? Explain this to me.
I'm not getting it.
She's trying to justify one murder with people that may have died because of poor health care coverage, right? Which, of course, she also fails to realize that all of this, great healthcare coverage that has been provided for the last, 12, 14 years is courtesy of Obamacare.
Yep.
Remember, that's why everybody hates the healthcare system. Now, the left has actually enabled companies like United Healthcare to have to do some of these disgusting tactics to make sure they survive, because this is what they laid out. Remember, they lied about the healthcare thing from day one. Obama was out there shucking and jiving the best that he could, saying you can keep your doctor, you can keep your healthcare plan. All of it was bubkus. Everybody knows it. This is what it's become, government-run healthcare for the most part, when you have the government kind of orchestrating and pulling the strings on the few companies left and telling them, hey, you're not going to be able to pay for this, you can't pay for that, you got to find ways to get around this. And let's face it, people like this guy who got gunned down and all the people that run these companies have a fiduciary responsibility, because they have to take care of the company. They have to make sure that the stockholders are represented. They have to do what they have to do to keep. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying, hey, maybe 25% profit over 30 is the way to go. Right. I'm just saying that they're in a position where their job is to make a profit, is to show a certain amount of profit and growth. If they don't do that, they lose their job. So either it's going to be him, it's going to be somebody else who's going to get them to the place they want to get as far as the healthcare company is.
Yeah.
But again, D-bags like this lady, Taylor Lorenz, she seems to forget this is all the liberal fantasy of the government control. Oh, we're going to have such great health care because the government's going to control it, and it will be perfect, and everything will be great, and everybody will get care, and nobody will ever get sick anymore. Well, look at her.
I mean, the two things that I want to say on that is, one, it's obvious, right? Like a guy running a company that you don't like should not be killed, okay? You can fight that many other ways. The real main piece, and you brought this up with Obama, the root, if you look at what happened with the Obama administration within healthcare, within politics, within all of these other things that happened, the root of all of these issues that we've seen through the Biden administration, all the resistance we saw in the Trump administration, and all the cleanup we're doing right now, the root of that is Obama.
Yeah.
He is the root of 90% of these problems that we have in this country. All the weakness. You saw this thing with Assad, getting taken over, where, the thing that happened with Israel, Iran getting more powerful, all of these things, all the dangers, and now the healthcare.
Right.
This is spun around to get people so crazy now to kill the CEO, which is disgraceful. This woman, by the way, should just be, I wish Piers would have just thrown her off the show, because she shouldn't have a voice.
No, definitely not. If she's calling for the death of people just because they run a company.
I felt joy on the death of a guy who, by the way, I don't know if this guy's a good guy or a bad guy, but who cares? He didn't deserve to get shot like that and to die, and nobody should be happy about that. Yeah. What's going to happen next?
Should be celebrating it for sure, right?
You don't like a drug that a pharmaceutical company's doing, so you go shoot that CEO. You don't like how much gas is, you go to Exxon and shoot that CEO. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah. You don't like the price of Happy Meal, so you go to the manager of McDonald's and shoot him.
Yeah,
that's what
that's the equivalent.
That's where this is leading to. It's giving. She's trying to give credence to or legitimacy to gunning somebody down because you felt wronged, as opposed to doing it the right way. Maybe you get an attorney, maybe you fight them legally, maybe you stop partaking in their whatever business there, but not to gun them down. Like you said, husband, a father, probably a son, I'm thinking, because he was born of somebody, could have grandkids on the way. He's probably got siblings. So a sister and a brother, you know what I mean?
Oh, of course.
So this is not just one person you thought was evil because
think about the mindset here.
You didn't like.
Rick, think about the mindset. What Damon brought up when he first brought this thing up. The progressive left, the mindset. Just the mindset to say something like this. She's not alone.
No, you see it across social media.
Oh, my God. The social media comments when the video was released of him getting shot, the comments underneath were some of the most brutal, vile things I had ever seen. Like, saying, "Oh, I wonder if they're going to give full coverage to the wife when they send the." I mean, it was crazy.
How that's wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't believe some of the things I saw, and then to see her on TV. But to get to what both of you are saying correctly. The root cause of all of this, the Affordable Care Act, which was neither affordable nor care, as you both said,
yes,
and the root to so many things that we have not fixed in this country goes back to 2008 to 2016.
That's it.
And it goes back to him.
Affordable Care Act.
The most destructive president to ever hold the office, and it's not even close.
Yeah. Yeah, he said, and if you recall, remember that we're going through a transition right now, right, with Trump? And if you recall the transition when in 16, all the stuff that Obama did, Susan Rice did, all these things. It's funny you mentioned the Affordable Care Act because there's the Inflation Reduction Act. Both acts did nothing but increase inflation in healthcare. Oh, jeez.
All right, just getting started on a Tuesday night, December 10th. Delgado's going to do some news. Vinnie Mac's got some news as well. Aaron and Fran, Harry on the highway in the building. And, of course, you, the live from Studio 6B audience, will get in the chat. Welcome on in. Just getting started on a Tuesday night.
But, this should bring up healthcare as a discussion, I mean, we've talked about healthcare.
Yeah.
But we should have, and a lot of people are commenting on this now about how they've had to wait and all this stuff. We have to have a national discussion on healthcare where we can make this easier for people, less expensive, take the state lines down, do all the stuff that I think Trump was talking about doing initially. But we got to overhaul this thing. It's like, Doge, for overspending. It's like we need a Doge for healthcare for all of us. You pay for your own healthcare?
No, I get it through work.
You get it through work.
But you know what? I pay for it.
Yeah, they take it out of your salary and all. I pay because I have my own company. I pay for myself, and it's extraordinary, the expense. For horrible coverage with deductibles that you cannot even imagine. So this conversation, if anything good happens out of a sad thing of a guy getting murdered, might be we elevate this discussion.
I hear you. I agree.
You feel me?
I'm smelling what you're cooking. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
You're feeling the vibe.
As they say.
Yeah.
All right, chat. What's going on, chat? Whatever you're on, make sure you hit the like, subscribe. Make sure you follow on all social media. I see our friends in X, Facebook, Rumble, Getter, YouTube, wherever you're watching. Child of the King, hello. Good evening, everybody. Moon Pie on YouTube as well.
Oh, man. Did you see Don Jr.?
AZ Mikey.
What do you do?
Don Jr. traded up.
Oh, I didn't see his new girlfriend, but...
they're not... Didn't she just get appointed today to something?
The ex for ambassador to Greece.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah,
go foil.
Why, they're not together anymore?
They're not together anymore.
No, they're seeing other people.
You're kidding.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it just broke today.
Hello, everybody. Hello, they're going by so fast. I apologize.
Howdy, Rumblers.
Hello, everybody on Rumble, X, YouTube, Facebook, Getter, wherever you're watching. Oh, I didn't realize that. They're not together, and she just got appointed as ambassador to Greece.
Yeah.
In other words, get me out of the country. I hate this guy.
Damn it. Any reason the replies are limited? Absolutely not.
Which one are you looking at?
I'm looking at all of them, but that person I think was on Facebook who said that, but there's nothing. There should be nothing. We don't do anything to any of these things. We just
show up.
We just
fly.
Observe them.
17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Hello to everybody in the chat, wherever you're watching, YouTube, X, Facebook, Rumble, Getter, at LFS6B, pretty much everywhere, and of course at Real AM Voice, if you're watching on Real America's Voice social media as well. Make sure you head over to livefromstudio6b.com, or if you have a Facebook or YouTube account, or Google account, excuse me, you can, same thing, you can sign up for free in about 5 seconds. It's pretty easy. Live from studio6b.com. Vinnie Mac is here. Vinnie Mac, you were not here all week last week. What else has been, what caught your attention? Anything on the transition, some of the appointments we haven't talked about? Anything? What's caught your attention in the last week or so?
All of the above. But today what's caught my attention, because I do want to talk about a few of the appointments, but today what caught my attention was Biden gave a speech today. By the way, the teleprompter broke.
He did?
He did, yeah.
He gave a speech today?
He gave a speech. The teleprompter broke. He was talking about the economy. And one of the things he said in the speech really, really bugged me because he
was... What was that, hello?
It was, it was, where'd my wife go? She's with Trump? What happened here?
Boy, she might be with, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. But he was talking about Assad being taken down, and he was taking credit for this.
Well, of course.
That our, policies and all this. And I find that insulting and appalling, because if you look at the reality of what happened here, if the Israelis did not defy the Biden administration, which, by the way, empowered Iran, they let Assad just do what he's doing. They gave money to Ukraine, to fight Putin, but they basically tried to hold back Israel. If Israel did not do what they did and basically looked the other way and did the things, then this never would have happened. So who do we thank for this? What foreign policy made this happen? Israel.
Yeah.
Not Joe Biden.
Not Washington.
No, they had nothing to do with it.
Israel would be in a very dangerous spot if they had listened to Joe Biden on many fronts.
There was a discussion today about that, about how bad it would be right now if they listened to Biden. Hamas would be empowered. They'd still be powerful. Iran also would have a lot more power. Assad probably wouldn't have come down. And maybe they get him. Maybe they don't. Israel, we should all be thanking God about Israel, because they saved our ass.
They wouldn't have gone into Rafah.
Nope.
If you remember that, they strongly suggested they don't do that.
And now they're talking about taking out the chemical weapons and the Air Force for Assad's ex-army, because a lot of terrorists are out there. So they're like, we could take out their Air Force in 2 days. And I'm thinking to myself, they're going to probably try and hold Israel back from doing that. But that's exactly what they should do, because the guys that knocked out Assad, it's a little questionable. I'm glad Assad is out. Don't get me wrong. But, if we have another bunch of terrorists taking over and religious fanatics taking over another country, we got to take out anything that they can possibly use. And Israel's on top of that. So thank you, Israel. Not Joe Biden. Thank you, Israel. And Trump, in his talking points and running up to being president, he in a way probably gave Israel the backbone to do what they were doing, just simply by saying, I'm with you and I'm going to win. So just do it. Don't listen to this guy.
I mean, I would think that Bibi's got to feel pretty empowered knowing that Trump's coming back, because what this administration has done to tie Israel's hands behind their back has been quite unprecedented, quite frankly.
Yeah, they've done the wrong thing. And it leads me to another thing that was bugging me, if I might continue.
So, can we just finish? Can we just go to Biden's speech for a second? So you said it was on the economy?
It was supposed to be on the economy.
How long was the speech? About 30 seconds? Because he's got no more than that to say anything on the economy, because the economy is a disaster thanks to him.
Oh, no. He took credit for record jobs, the usual nonsense.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but the teleprompter,
we call that.
The teleprompter broke. So he was saying, the electricity went out. The electricity went out. His teleprompter went out.
Wow. I didn't see it. This could have been Crazy Town tonight. Maybe for tomorrow.
You should take a look.
Okay, I'll take a look. But I mean, what the hell could he talk about the economy?
No.
I mean, we're going to get CPI tomorrow morning. Don't be surprised if it's up. Do not be surprised if it's up. I think overall still trending down, but don't be surprised if it's up. You know when you find out when you're in recession, when you're already in it.
That's right.
Yeah.
You never find out before.
And you just has that feeling right now that that's what we're going to find out in the beginning of the year. Because that's just the way the economy feels. But for him to get up there and say, I didn't hear one word of it, but for him to get up there and take credit for anything is just revisionist history, that's what it is.
Yeah. took credit for the economy, the foreign policy, all this stuff happening now. I mean, if it wasn't for people defying him, we wouldn't have any of this stuff.
So what else was on your mind?
So the second piece is I was looking at clips when Trump was on Meet the Press, and it got me digging into a few things. And, they were talking about Tulsi Gabbard, and 100 former intel or national security folks saying that she shouldn't be, in charge of national security. And, Trump rightly pointed out the whole thing with Hunter Biden's, 50 national intelligence figures. But they're giving her a hard time because of a meeting she had with Assad. And I found that also appalling because I do have a photo of this. Aaron, if you could put up that photo. Here's a photo of Nancy Pelosi meeting with Assad.
Yeah.
She had nothing to do with it. John Kerry meeting with Assad.
Herman Munster, you mean?
They're all meeting with him in the past. No one says boo. Tulsi did the same thing, and senators meet with leaders. And Trump rightly said, hey, I went to North Korea. I talked to Putin. I met with Xi. Like, you got to talk to these people, but they're trying to take him down, and they're trying to take her down for doing the things that they're doing. And I just wanted to point it out and make sure people saw this because of the hypocrisy going on to not let her get, and finish the process here and become the national security director. So that's driving me crazy because I see everything going on with everybody else, trying to get, the Senate to vote for them in Trump's cabinet. And I'm watching just nonsense, one thing after another that they're bringing up that means nothing. That's not true. And here's one of the biggest things, let's ask Nancy Pelosi why she met with Assad. Yep. Was it for some nefarious reason that the Senate saying Tulsi did? No. How about John Kerry, that moron? Maybe he was talking to Assad about something. So,
did I see they just put some picture of him in the
Yes, in the State Department. He's getting a painting or whatever, a portrait. His portrait was put up
like Kramer,
right?
Like a Kramer photo.
And so it's funny because if you go on X, you can see some people had some fun with the portrait, and it now shows the face of Herman Munster, where it would be John Kerry. By the way, Herman Munster, much better for this country than John Kerry.
Lily.
John Kerry has also been one of the snakiest snake oil salesmen we've ever had.
Oh, please.
Just an absolute, utter disaster.
Putting him in charge of climate change, you might as well just throw a couple of $1 billion out the window and let him put a lot of it in his pocket, by the way, which is what a lot of this climate change nonsense is about.
Well, him and Al Gore, there have been two more gaslighters on climate change. The two of them had us all frozen, underwater, burned up. What else? I don't know. Over the last 20 years.
Oh, yeah. We've already passed every single deadline that they said. Manhattan's supposed to be underwater right now. There's only supposed to be half of Florida left. Last I checked, it's all still here.
Obama's mansion in Martha's Vineyard should be underwater, too, but yet he still bought it.
Right.
Yep.
He's still buying property in Hawaii.
Yeah. Well,
oceanfront.
It's just
rising maybe just a little slower than they told you.
Just a little bit.
It's a money-making narrative. They created a money-making narrative. Simple as that.
Well, to your point on Tulsi Gabbard and, of course, Trump's, I do think right now, because of the voices of conservatives in talk radio and television and conservatives on social media, I think the point has gotten across. You see what Joni Ernst has made a 180. Mm-hmm. You still got Lisa Murkowski holding out and Susan Collins and these two schleps out there saying no. But they're going to get the message sooner or later. But it's the double standard, to your point on Tulsi, is, I don't know how we're never going to get rid of that stuff. We're just never going to get rid of it.
It's up to the Republicans. They have to stick together.
And of course, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. All right, we'll do some news with Delgado when we get back. Give you an update on our friend Slick Rick. Live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday. Chat. I think we did this yesterday, but let's do it again. If going back to where we opened the show, if you think Luigi's the guy, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't think he is,
if you think it's his brother Mario,
you think it's Mario, put a 2 in the chat. Luigi or Mario, 1 or 2. Put it in the chat. Don't screw it up. Let's go. Ready, go.
Action.
We'll see who else has changed their mind besides me. I am now 1. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 88, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1.
Wow.
Okay, the ones are definitely.
Is it 1,
2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 2, 999, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. Bowser.
999, I like that.
1, 1.
I'd like to buy a vowel if I could. Thank you.
I'd say if we had a way to calculate all these numbers on the fly, I would think the ones would have it here.
There's enough
That's
twos
completely
there,
unscientific, but I'll go with it.
But there's enough twos.
What do you mean? It's very scientific. It's the most
done.
Scientific.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I think
this is
twos are in the
democracy.
lead over on Rumble.
What?
Twos are in the lead over on Rumble.
2s are in the lead on Rumble.
That's what it looks like to me.
Well, those are all Delgado's friends. They're all,
I'm astonished by
being
this.
down from the UFO.
Wow.
Wow,
I don't know.
Surprised anybody thinks that this may not be all that the story we're getting may not be on the up and up?
No, I don't say that. I just look at the guy who shot him, the pictures of the guy that shot him, and they caught him with all this stuff. It's like that's the guy that shot him. Whether there's more to the story, and
like why he would keep all the stuff that would easily make him guilty?
Yes, yes. If there's more to all of this, then I say, okay, free reign there, man. Let's check that out. But this, I don't know. It looks like the guy.
Okay.
Well, you're a very persuadable gentleman.
I'm with you, and I'm with you, Vin. I'm with you. I think this is him. Mario's off the hook. Luigi is going down.
Oh, man.
Luigi's not going to jump from one barrel to another. He's going to crash.
There goes Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Luigi. How you doing, Luigi?
I don't know.
He's from Towson, Maryland, this guy.
Delgado went to Roswell for his honeymoon, someone said. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
No.
Come on, honey. Let's go explore.
I actually went to Nevada. Groom Lake is very nice this time of year.
Chat.
Oh,
Thank you for your votes.
Howdy.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. So we just did a very formal scientific poll in the break, and the ones have it. So the ones have it, and as far as do we think Luigi's the guy? 1. If we do not think he's the guy, 2. The ones have taken it. We all think this is the guy. They got their guy. Get him back to New York. This is it. So that was the winner.
We have a wiener.
Vinnie Mac's here, doing some, got some thoughts on some news. Aaron and Fran holding it down. Harry on the highway was in the building. I don't know if he still is, but he's around.
He's just driving around.
He's hiding.
Just driving.
Yeah. Rick Delgado's here. So, let me give you an update on Slick.
Yes, please do.
Slick and the family have been obviously doing what they have to do. Slick wrote me the following. He said, Big D, I'm with the family tonight. Hopefully we get to speak tomorrow. Please, and I do mean please, all capitals, let the beautiful 6B audience followers know that I am working on getting back to all the unbelievable messages that are coming in. Please also thank Michael Curtis, who sent me a beautiful song called Walking Each Other Home that he wrote. Love to the 6B crew. Very touched. So that's an update from our friend Slick Rick.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
it's tough losing a father, man. I could tell you that from personal experience. And no matter what age, no matter what age, it's just, there's like fathers and daughters, like, the special relationship you have with your daughter.
I do.
And the special relationship you have with your son. But man, it's just so hard losing a father. So heart goes out for Rick, but cherish the memories, man. That's the number one thing you can do.
Yes, absolutely. And services will be Thursday and Friday. And we will be there not only for support here on the show, but for all of you as well. So, and then I suppose we'll probably see Slick. Well, knowing him, we still might even see him this week. I don't know. But we'll see him, I'm sure, next week. So
yeah.
I encouraged him to take the week off, enjoy family, and get through this time and refresh maybe next week. So we'll see. Let's do some news. News is brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition, available live from studio6b.com. Right there on the homepage, 15% off. Great supplements, vitamins, whatever you need. More to come. It's great stuff. As a matter of fact, this is what it looks like. It's
That's what it looks like. It's right there.
This is the men's multivitamin that I take every day.
All right.
Usually I take it while I'm sitting here, which I will now.
Thank you.
Over at the live from studio6b.com, Rick Delgado's got the news. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, lots of, it's so much going on, as Aaron likes to say. Real quick, the Trump transition, more things are happening day by day, and especially when you're talking about people like Pete Hegseth, we're getting good news, or I guess more favorable news from a Joni Ernst. She still hasn't committed to approving of Hegseth yet, but we'll see if she needs just a little bit more of that arm twisting to get her in line. Senator Murkowski out of Alaska, one of the Republican women who signaled her skepticism on Hegseth's fitness to be confirmed, declined to say whether she would support his bid after meeting with him earlier today in her office. And, of course, the Trump transition team continues making announcements. As of 7:45 tonight, Dan Bishop, the representative out of North Carolina, the Republican who's retiring from his current term, is going to serve as deputy director for the budget at the White House Office of Management and Budget. So that was announced just before showtime. You also had, Thomas J. Barack Jr., a businessman and former Trump advisor, named as the U.S. ambassador to Turkey. So that's happening as well. All of this happening in the hour leading up to the show. Damon, you mentioned this in one of the breaks. Kimberly Guilfoyle, former Fox News host, picked to be U.S. ambassador to Greece.
Yep.
So she's heading over to Greece to be the ambassador there.
And I guess she's now not only former Fox host, but former girlfriend to Don Jr.?
Yeah, it looks that way. From what I saw on X, it looks that way. President-elect Donald Trump also named Mark Meadow, a Senate Republican antitrust counsel, commissioner to the FTC.
Wait, Mark Meadows?
No, not Mark Meadows. Mark Meadow.
Mark Meadow, okay.
Yeah. Spelled almost the same way, just an R at the end instead of a W. He's going to be the commissioner to the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, effectively replacing Democratic chair Lena Khan. So that's another big appointment. And the one thing that kind of got my attention was, I don't know if you guys saw this, but former Secret Service agent Richard Strapoli issued a stark warning for Donald Trump leading up to, of course, his inauguration day.
Who did?
Former Secret Service agent Richard Staropoli.
Okay.
He had this to say. He was on Fox when asked about the transition, and of course, they talked about the assassination attempts. Listen to what he had to say here. Cut number 8. Check this out.
Well, I'm not highly confident at all. The Secret Service that you see out there today is not the Secret Service of yesteryear.
Wow.
Somewhere along the line, they've completely dropped the ball. That testimony that you saw today was purely a smokescreen to cover up the shortcomings of a politically compromised agency. It should never have gotten to that point. This whole talk about all these drones and these UAVs, hey, that's all great. But you need to get back to the basics. What made the Secret Service great was its ability to put human intelligence, manpower on the streets and effectively secured environment to make it safe for the President of the United States. I don't see that here. As a matter of fact, I don't think I'd be alone in saying that I certainly can see something happening between now and Inauguration Day, and it's not going to be some 20-year-old kid on the roof of a building that's allowed to get within 100 yards. It's going to be something of a much bigger magnitude, and I don't think the Secret Service is anywhere near equipped to handle that situation.
Oof. Yeah. I mean, how do you not agree with that guy?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a scary time, as much as we love Trump and everything he's doing, man.
But think about all the opposing forces out there.
You have said this, Vin. I've asked you this on multiple things on the morning show, other places. You said you're not comfortable between now and Inauguration Day.
I'm not comfortable at all, and there's a lot of good reasons not to be comfortable. When you're completely overhauling the government, taking out all of the dirt and the slime that's in there, all that dirt and slime, man, they're going to fight back.
Yeah.
And they're going to fight back on some crazy. Look at this woman saying she's joyful about a guy getting killed. I mean, this is the mentality of these crazy people on the left, and especially the hardcore progressives. So I whatever Trump's doing, he needs to double it, because I do fear that. We need him to be successful. This country needs Donald Trump alive to get to the office and to be successful. And yeah, I'm very, very nervous. There's too many forces out there that I fear that don't want him to succeed.
Kristen Welker, I believe, asked him on Sunday's Meet the Depressed show, and he taped about 93 minutes. They only aired about 37 or so.
He was great on it, by the way.
He was fantastic. I said that yesterday. But she did ask him about the 2 assassination attempts and whether he felt okay. And obviously, I don't expect him to go, oh, no, I'm really scared. But he sounded like somebody who was confident that they now have the detail that they had requested multiple times, he said. We had kept requesting more and more. We were having 50,000 people rallies and more. And he said, now we have it. I think his actual answer was, I feel like we have it now and some.
Right. That's good to hear. That's good to hear for sure.
Well, let's hope that's the case, because between now and then, how many days? 40 some odd days? What are we down to?
Might be less than that.
Yeah.
So let's hope, fingers crossed, that the president-elect makes it to Inauguration Day unscathed and is able to take the oath of office and start, kicking into gear basically what we all want him to do. So hopefully that will come to pass. Another part of the transition team that is still out there, and man, this guy, you know what? I haven't heard. I don't think any senator on either side of the aisle is going to go up against Tom Homan.
No,
he just seems the one that they're all like, okay, Tom Homan is cool. We're going to let him slide. Here he is. He made another appearance, and again, he is holding the line. Remember how you said, Vin? You just said whatever we need him to do, we need him to do twice as hard now.
Yes,
this is Tom Homan. He's portraying that strength and that vision for what he wants to do. Here he is, cut number 6, talking with Dr. Phil. Tom Homan, cut 6. Check this out.
What happens January 21st? Where do you start?
Well, there's 3 rails we'll start the first day. Number 1, we're going to secure the border. Number 2, we're going to run the deportation operation. And number 3, I'll look for these 300,000 kids. We'll find them too. President Trump's been clear. We're going to prioritize public safety threats and national security threats first, because they pose the most danger to this nation. So day 1, we're going to be looking for these public safety threats, arresting them, detaining them, and deporting them. And if these sanctuary city mayors don't want to help, then get the hell out of the way, because we're coming. We're doing it.
This is what we need.
Yeah. You say that the left media has it backwards. Brandon, you as the bad guy. How are you the bad guy?
I grew up in a family full of cops. My grandfather's a cop. My dad was a cop. And we're in a situation now where the left thinks those who enforce the laws are the bad guys, those who broke the law are the victims. Well, we're going to change that after January 20th.
Spot on. Huh?
Yeah, and that's the exact. That's the exact thinking that got us to the Daniel Penny situation, where people are the left is screaming about the criminal. And oh my God, you stopped the criminal before he could commit a crime. How dare you? And not acknowledging the guy who potentially saved not only his own life, but potentially somebody else's on that train.
The lack of reality is astonishing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've been on the subways in New York.
Oh yeah. I've seen some crazy stuff on the subways.
It's not the most comfortable feeling, because there's some crazies in the subways all the time. Not once in a while. You're always on guard, especially as a New Yorker. That's why they say us New Yorkers, we're abrasive and all this kind of stuff. We're not really. We're just on guard, man.
Yeah.
But if we were any of us in that situation, we'd be scared out of our minds. Praising a guy like Daniel Penny for saving us. And everybody, those witnesses were amazing. Amazing. And then you look at Tom Homan. And, MS-13 and these Venezuelan gangs and all of these other things, the terrorists they let in. Like, what mayor in their right mind is actually going to get away with not allowing them to arrest the bad guys?
Right.
It defies logic, but we see a woman on TV saying that she's joyful about a guy getting shot.
Right.
So, there's no logic at play anymore. They've lost their logic gene, I guess.
Yeah, and when you talk about Daniel Penny, in his case, of course, he was found not guilty of the charges levied against him yesterday, and here he is today talking about if he would have not done anything. Right. And if something bad would have happened. Here he is, cut number 7. Here's Daniel Penny talking about the guilt of not acting on that day. Check this out.
The guilt I would have felt if someone did get hurt, if he did do what he was threatening to do, would never be able to live with myself. And I'll take 1 million court appearances and people calling me names and people hating me just to keep one of those people from getting hurt or killed.
Yeah.
What an answer.
I mean, that's the guy you want.
Right.
What an answer.
I mean, hello, that's the guy you want right there.
These are our Marines. These are the real guys, not the ones fake, dressed up like clowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got, and you know, believe it or not, he is remorseful about what happened. But let's face it, and he's got to live with that for the rest of his life. But again, he points to the fact that what if I didn't do anything and somebody got hurt or somebody got killed?
It's the biggest question.
And he could have stopped it.
If he didn't do anything, what are we talking about?
Right.
What are we talking about here? New York's dangerous? Ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, live from Studio 6B. We'll do some more news. I got a couple things I want to get into as well. If you didn't know that Merrick Garland was the worst attorney general in the history of the country, IG Horowitz pretty much made it official today. Not that he needed to, but we'll go over that. Harry on the Highway's in the house. We'll get him in front of a camera as well. Call coming back right after this.
Okay, I'm gonna skip that. Hey, Rick, Dr. Phil. I mean, Tom Holm got a standing ovation. Standing ovation from Dr. Phil's audience. Amazing. I'll be around till like right after New Year's.
This week.
Yeah. I'm around. I'm gonna be looking forward to all sorts of meals outside and doing crazy stuff.
Going on the subway?
Italian BMT.
Have you ever heard about
What friend?
people that live under?
Who's that?
An actual subway. You know?
Heard about that?
No. Wow.
When? Saturday?
Thousands of people live.
I've heard a word about that.
There are certain.
It's like Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I was talking. Actually,
Oh, Saturday.
like
City every Saturday.
like
Well, this temperature controlled.
right.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like demolition.
It's a movie.
They live down underneath something, and it's deep. It's not
Yeah,
like
do. I mean, if I could join you, I don't know. If the chances of getting her out are. I know, but it's just so hard with.
Yeah. Underground New York City.
there are police that know where to take. We were going to do that years ago.
Wow. That is unbelievable. Yeah. I can't even believe
Like,
that.
there's a whole.
I thought a few people were down there, you know, but
we're talking
thousands?
underneath the subways. It's crazy. Yeah.
Maybe we should send Gavin Newsom down there. I think that we got a nice place for him. Nice warm place.
And he's got the hair.
He's got the
Chat. What's going on, chat?
for rats.
Really?
I think DC has more rats than actual rats.
Child of the King, Super Chat, Big D, will you please use this to buy some flowers for Slick Rick from all the chat? We love him and we are praying for him and his family. Absolutely.
Ah, that's nice.
Thank you so much. That is beautiful. I
Well done.
absolutely will.
Crazy. Right. Do you ever see the documentary of the people jumping off the Golden Gate? That one's pretty sick. Well,
6B on a Tuesday night. Rick Delgado's here doing the news. Vinnie Mac's here. Aaron and Fran holding it down. Harry on the highway is now leaving the building like Elvis. He said, I'm out of here. I am not sitting in front of the camera. I'm gone. So Harry on the highway is now on the highway.
I believe Grubhub showed up and Harry took off.
John Solomon today. IG finds Justice Department spied on guess who?
Oh.
I know. That's because I had
Nancy
this.
Pelosi?
Sorry, but go ahead.
Nope.
No.
On the incoming FBI Director, Kash Patel, and other congressional staffers without telling the courts. The Justice Department spied on 2 House members and several congressional staffers in a leak investigation without telling the courts. The agency's Inspector General found in a sweeping investigation released on Tuesday. As a result, the department obtained phone records for the 2 members of Congress and 43 staff members, including President-elect Donald Trump's nominee for FBI Director Kash Patel, who worked as a staffer on the GOP-led House Intelligence Committee at the time. The department initiated the probe to investigate leaks to the media of FBI classified information as part of the now discredited Trump-Russia probe, which had recently been shared with Congress. Inspector General Michael Horowitz found that the Justice Department, in filings with the court, did not reference the fact that they related to requests for records of members of Congress or congressional staffers, despite implicating constitutional separation of powers between 2 branches of government. Kash Patel, who was poised to become the new director of the FBI, if confirmed, previously sued former Trump Justice Department officials and FBI Director Christopher Wray, accusing them of violating his 4th Amendment right to protection from unreasonable searches and seizures when they tried to obtain Patel's personal records, Just the News previously reported. Patel said he was completely unaware of the subpoena until December of 2022 when Google notified him about it. Ooh. Another former staffer, Jason Foster, previously told Just the News that he confirmed that the government successfully asked a federal court to hide its spying on Congress for 5 consecutive years.
Oof.
Foster is now the head of the Empower Oversight Whistleblower Center. In 2017, at the time of the secret surveillance, he was chief investigative counsel for Senator Chuck Grassley on the Senate Judiciary Committee. The seizure of his personal data occurred in 2017 while he worked for the Senate, and ordinarily under the original court order, Foster would have been notified a year later. But because the DOJ sought court approval ex parte to keep its surveillance secret, he wasn't alerted until earlier this fall, 6 years after the initial subpoena. Grassley on Tuesday claimed that the investigation was an example of the Justice Department acting in bad faith and urged the incoming Trump administration to fix the ongoing problem. Quote, "It's plain to see DOJ overstepped its authority here. The Justice Department ought to learn from its mistakes and accept accountability because Congress won't accept any less. The incoming Trump administration must take steps to ensure these problems are fixed."
That's astonishing. Merrick Garland almost became a Supreme Court justice.
Yeah.
He almost became the highest authority, along with a few others, obviously, in this country of our laws, of right and wrong, our Constitution, and our laws. And look at how crooked this guy is. Look at what he's done through his entire run. This is just icing. This is another one of those things. Like they haven't even, and you know, you hear Trump getting criticized for wanting to take revenge or getting, taking these folks down. How do you not want to? How do you not want to see each and every one of them in jail? How? It's like almost like no discussion. He's on Meet the Press and they're asking him, "You're gonna take it all out on them? You're gonna arrest them all?" Hell yeah, they should be taken down. Merrick Garland, that guy needs to be put somewhere in a jail cell with a bunch of people that want to beat the hell out of him. That might be the best thing we can do.
Or better yet, they just want to snuggle. No, they just want to snuggle. It's a snuggle fest, Merrick.
You think about the smearing of parents as domestic terrorists.
Yep.
You think about stories like this. You think about prosecuting political opponents on these ridiculous statutes that they've done, on the FACE Act and all this other stuff they've done, sending agents out to the parking lots at school board meetings. This is why back in November, I believe it was, the legal contributor to MSNBC said, forget Matt Gaetz, Merrick Garland is the worst attorney general in the history of the country. This is when Gaetz first got put up.
Yep.
People were freaking out. Dean Obla, I think his name is Dean Oblemeyer. He said, forget Matt Gaetz, Merrick Garland is America's worst attorney general. So when you've got the left and the right agreeing on something, you're doing a pretty good job of bringing these people together.
Yep.
In your horror show.
Yeah.
Hey, preemptive pardons. That's why they exist now. Because all of these people are going to be taken down.
Well, yeah, that's what they're, and
they should be.
Adam Schiff says today he doesn't want one.
That's what he says.
Yeah, we
reluctantly
played
take
that
one.
yesterday, right?
I said it again today.
Yeah.
Holy
said it again today.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because, he kind of shifts his positions depending on, who it benefits. If you want to talk about Adam Schiff, I got a little clip here, cut number 3, courtesy of the Mays Moore. Adam Schiff on indicting President Trump. Check this out for yourself, Dave, and see what you think of old Adam here. Cut 3.
On the day Donald Trump leaves office, the Justice Department may indict him.
Very strongly in favor of indicting the president when he is out of office.
I don't think the incoming president should be threatening his political opponents with jail time. That's not the kind of talk we should hear from a president in a democracy.
Yeah, says this guy.
This is a movie.
Who's been calling for it since the day Donald Trump won the election. Not even, it was before he got inaugurated. They were looking to, okay, we need to impeach him. We need to indict him. We got to do something. This guy.
They have to make a movie of all these clips, of all the double standards that they've all done. It's worthwhile 2 hours to watch of people just saying one thing and then when the shoe's on the other foot, flipping it around.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
By the way, I want to point out that the article on the guy from MSNBC, his reason for Garland being the worst attorney general in American history was that he didn't go after Trump enough. So just to be clear on why the left and the right agree, the reasons are different that they agree. I should at least point that out.
Right, because he didn't start the proceedings soon enough.
Yes, he didn't pursue him hard enough to try to put him in prison. That's the ultimate failure, as the left sees it, on why Garland stinks.
Right.
So whatever the reasons, though, we all come to the same conclusion. This guy's been the worst.
Yeah. And listen, I hope Pam Bondi not only cleans the place out, but we have to know. I want to know all the bad actors and what they did.
I think we know them.
We know who they are.
We want to know exactly what they did.
Exactly.
Because as Trump said in that interview with Meet the Press, he says if they've done something wrong, they need to be held accountable for it.
But
he's not going to just go after them to go after them.
Does anyone really think, though, we'll actually know what they did?
Right.
You know what? If we see the Kennedy report and we see the 9/11 report, this stuff is going to be nothing compared to that stuff.
No way. This is one of the most corrupt series of events going back to Obama, who laid the foundation for all of this. Don't forget, who was Merrick Garland's guy?
Yeah.
Obama.
That was
all roads lead to Obama.
Certainly not Joe Biden. After the letter he just put out when he pardoned his son, he called out his own Department of Justice too. He thinks they suck too.
Yeah.
By the way, remember that?
Yeah. That was
he singled them out too
because they got weaponized. They got political. Wait, huh?
Wait, yeah.
What did I say?
Check, please.
Singled out. Yeah. Exactly. Hi, live from Studio 6B. We'll do some more news, more thoughts with Vinnie Mac when we get back right after this. Hour 2 coming up.
Holy shit. funny. I mean,
he's
one of my liberal maniac friends.
Timing like none other.
One of my liberal maniac friends got all over me today about the Trump fragrance thing he put out, with Jill Biden. And he's like, oh, that's where he crosses the line, and that's where, blah, 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 going on and on and on. I'm like, that's funny. That's just funny. That's not anything other than funny,
I didn't see it, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah, he put out a fragrance ad, Trump fragrance, with Jill Biden staring at him like, like it's some seductive thing.
Oh, at the church there? And
Yeah. But it's not like that wasn't mean. No. That was funny. Well, and the same thing with the thing you're talking about.
It was an honor speaking to the governor of the great state of Canada.
It's hilarious. It is just funny, man. The guy's hilarious. He should be playing at the East Side Comedy Club.
He just takes Trudeau, picks him up, and just slaps him.
Yeah. I turn you into rat meat, Trudeau.
What had the left freaking out over the weekend was the Notre Dame thing.
Oh,
because they were all like, look at how they're just falling in line and shaking his hand and the way he shook Macron's hand, whomp.
Another hysterical moment. Like, these are funny.
Yeah.
But talk about a guy showing some leadership.
Yeah.
And the world,
and they fall into
accepting that leadership.
Yep.
I don't think there's ever been. Do you recall any president ever in transition ever doing what he's doing?
No.
Meaning, going to meet with these leaders and having no, they barely can get through the transition.
Yeah. They're kissing the ring.
Kissing the ring.
Kiss the ring.
Why not? Yeah. That is weird, wacky stuff.
Well, because now they know he knows what he's doing. That's what makes it.
You know what? These last 4 years, as much as I wanted to see him in office, and I wish he was, but these last 4 years, talk about a learning experience for this guy, and he's showing the result of it. He's got it right.
Yeah.
He's got it right. I talk to my friend Greg all the time about this. We're like, these last 4 years, this guy.
Oh, people saying I'm missing stuff in the chat. I'm missing super chats, donations for Slick Flowers. Well,
is there a way to find them?
We can find them again.
Like you can.
I'm going back right now. Chris Allen, Damon, add this to Slick and his family flowers fund, please. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. That's extremely nice. Child of the King. I already did that one. Chris Allen. Don't let me miss any more, please. Someone else tell me if I can't go back far enough to see him. Let me see.
Pretty amazing audience, man, with what they're posting here and donating for Slick. Yeah. Amazing.
Damon is ignoring us. Well, I'm not trying to ignore you when I'm doing the segments. Yep. $50 from that guy, Super Chat. Please pass on another donation to Slick Rick and his family.
See, now we got to go back on the air.
Hour 2 live from Studio 6B, Tuesday, December 10th. Glad you're in. I wanted to say thank you to everybody in the chat who has, I hope I get them all, has put a donation in through a super chat on YouTube to Slick's the flowers. We'll get some flowers and we'll send them over to the funeral home. John Lavoie, $25 super chat. Please put towards flowers for Slick Rick's family. John, very nice. Thank you very much. Child of the King, of course, started it. $150. Please use this to buy some flowers for Slick Rick from all of the chat. We love him. We're praying for him and his family. Thank you very much. $50 super chat from that guy in the chat. Please pass on another donation to Slick Rick and his family. The pain of losing family never goes away. Much love to you and your family during these incredible, difficult times. This too shall pass. Glory be to God. $5 super chat from Les. Can I make this bigger? I'm blind. Les Durham, $5 super chat as well. Thank you very much. If there's any others I missed, I will try to go back and find them. But thank you very, very much. And that will all go towards, I guess we'll see flowers, and then if there's anything left, we'll make a donation to, if Slick has some place that maybe I don't know if they're donating to something cause specifically, we will make that donation in the in the name of the LFS6B audience, or LFS6B family is probably a better way to say it.
Yeah, well done. Well done. Well done by everybody, by the way. Well done.
Yes, so thank you very much. And I will continue to try to keep up with those if I can while they come in, and I appreciate it. And I know Slick would tell you not to do this at all, but I know he'll appreciate it as well.
Yeah.
2 minutes past the hour, hour 2. Rick Delgado's here. He's doing the news. Vinnie Mac's got some thoughts on some things. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Before we get to Vin, before I come to you, I saw this headline, and Delgado, I thought of you, of course, first.
Awesome.
But I thought of us, I don't know if it was last night.
Area 57.
Yeah. New Jersey drones stump FBI.
I know.
Lawmakers furious at federal inaction. What the hell's going on over New Jersey?
They don't know what it is. They were on the Hill today testifying. I watched a little bit of it, and these guys, they don't know who's controlling these drones that are flying over New Jersey.
Well,
that's outrageous.
The FBI can't figure this out.
How dangerous are drones? Are so dangerous. They can carry weapons. They can do all sorts of stuff.
And they're just hovering there?
They're just hovering for extended periods of time.
And there's a lot of them.
How is that? I mean, if I hover my DJI drone over my house, it's only going to stay for about 28 minutes on a full battery.
I think these are slightly larger, more sophisticated drones than the thing you just picked up at Costco there, David.
Yeah,
it's not
it's not a Radio Shack drone. Yeah, I got to learn to hover. You know, a little more hovering would happen here. This is dangerous.
What is going on?
From the footage and description I've seen, they're like industrial, commercial, or military drones.
Even worse. Even worse. I mean, we had a Chinese balloon float across the entire country over our bases, and the president of the United States is in New Jersey and Bedminster and other places, and these drones are flying over, and they're military grade.
And he's talking today about revisionist history on the economy. Who's in charge of what's going on in this country right now? Does anybody have any idea?
But Biden's teleprompter went down, so we're not sure what's going on.
Susan Rice is in charge.
Military-sized, and they think military-owned or industrial-sized drones are hovering over places in New Jersey, and nobody knows what and who and where they're coming from, or who's responsible for putting them there, or who's controlling them, or what they're doing. And this has been going on now for weeks. I mean, I remember first talking about this, I thought this was a joke.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like weeks ago?
It was like last
week. People were
week.
freaking out who lived there, like, what's going on above my house? And we all just kind of blew it off.
Well,
at least I did.
I didn't blow it off.
I did. I was like,
because you don't know what
some
it
kid
is.
who just bought DJI over at the Apple stores trying out his drone. What are you getting crazy about?
There's no way it's that. There's no way it's that. But when you let in thousands of terrorists across the border and other enemies of our country, this could be some.
But how can we not
organized
be
thing?
An explanation from somebody?
I don't know.
Maybe they don't want you to know who it is.
I don't think they have a clue what's going on, and they're just trying to investigate it. I don't think they know what's happening at all, which is clear in this hearing. Did you watch any of the hearing today?
No, but this is the opening paragraph in the Washington Times tonight. U.S. officials are not sure what to make of the swarms of drones flying over New Jersey in recent weeks.
Interesting.
U.S. officials are not sure what to make of the swarms of drones flying over New Jersey in recent weeks, sparking outrage from lawmakers who said it makes the government look incompetent. Why don't we just take one of them down and see what it is? What are we doing?
Think, yeah.
All you need to do is send something in the air and pick a few of them off, and you'll know exactly what's happening. You know where they came from, where they were made, what they're doing, and they have chips in them, to record, things. You can see what they're trying to, information they're trying to capture.
No, I mean, seriously, has anyone ever heard of such nonsense before? We have drones just hovering over states in New Jersey. The governor, there's nothing the governor can do. There's nothing the federal government feels like they need to do here. They're just going to let them and go, oh, man, I don't know. We just can't figure out what's going on up there. They're pretty lights, though. They look pretty good. They hover nice. Wind doesn't affect them. I mean, what are we doing?
And then they disappear. Nobody knows where they went. Nobody knows where they come from.
Leave and then come back?
Oh, yeah. Well, they don't hang out there all day. You can't see them during the day. They only show up at night.
Yeah. Which is strange because you can see the lights.
Right.
I mean, that's a little odd. If you're
Who
trying
knows?
to,
Maybe it's another. It's a test run for something on a larger scale. Cyberdyne type of Skynet,
like that
kind
balloon
of thing.
I mean, that was a test run of some sort.
You never know.
Yeah.
Robert Wheeler Jr., who runs the FBI's Critical Incident Response Group, said no evidence suggests nefarious motives.
Well, because they haven't caught one yet, so they don't know if there's evidence of nefarious.
Well, how about
anything.
the fact that they're there? Wouldn't that be enough evidence of nefarious? If it's not Johnny flying his Apple drone, it's concerning, he told the House Homeland Security Committee on Tuesday.
No, thank you.
Yes, thank you. He said the public has provided more than 3,000 tips and reports are everywhere. Some drones have been fixed-wing aircraft and others are rotary. Some are larger than the typical commercially available size. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, a Democrat, called the drones sophisticated and said they go dark once detected.
Thank you, Phil. That's very astute of you.
We're most concerned about sensitive targets and sensitive critical infrastructure. We've military assets. We've got utility assets, he said this week. The drones were spotted in the general area of Picatinny Arsenal, an Army research complex, and President-elect Donald Trump's home at Bedminster. Why are we not taking action? Representative Pfluger, the Texas Republican who convened Tuesday's hearing on drone danger, demanded of the FBI and the Justice Department. Mr. Wheeler offered a bureaucratically intricate response. He said, authority exists to mitigate a drone while in flight, but he didn't explain why it hasn't happened yet. Karine Jean-Pierre was asked about it. Obviously, this is something DHS and the FBI are tracking very closely, she said.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah. So closely, we don't have an answer.
You've got the Iranians who are sending hitmen to try and kill the president. You've got people out there that want to take him out. You've got countries and terrorists that have come into this country illegally, and you have all these drones flying over. It's like...
And we're just like standing on the ground with a notepad going, okay,
yeah.
Just did like, what are we doing?
Yeah, let's take a look at, it's a drone. It's a
There's
bird, it's a plane.
There's got to be something that I'm missing here.
Either way, they have to take much more aggressive action and take them down and figure out what they are. Someone's flying them from somewhere. Like, you can't fly a drone from... 20 miles away, can you?
I guess the military has unarmed or unmanned drones that they obviously could fly from quite a distance, I would think. But
well, that's the military. Yeah, you're talking about.
Well, I mean, what are these?
I don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. That's the whole problem.
Anthony D'Esposito from New York, a Republican, said, quote, the fact that we continue to say we don't know what they are, we don't know what they're doing, the American people have to be looking at us and think we're lying to them because they think, well, how could you not have answers to drones flying over some of the most critical airspace in the country? Winner! Yeah. Winner, Judge, we have a winner. Aisle 3, Anthony D'Esposito, winner.
I'll take Anthony for 500, please. If you look at what happened with that balloon, they had no answer. They had no idea. They just watched it, and it went across our whole country.
And the only
this is the same scenario.
Right. And what's amazing is if you bought a drone, even a sophisticated drone, and you took it over here next to the airport, you couldn't get it off the ground.
No.
It will not lift off the ground because of the technology, knowing the distance from it's closed airspace. You couldn't get it off the ground.
Right.
But they've got these things flying over military and Trump's Bedminster home. No problem.
No problem.
It's kind of like they just look the other way when anything involves Trump being possibly in danger, which to me, he would be in danger with these drones because they can do a lot of damage. They can carry weapons if you want them to.
I'm sure you've seen some of the drone footage out there that's used in warfare where these guys are running, trying to shoot at this thing, and this thing will just fly into them and explode.
Yeah.
You can't. It's not very easy to stop. Especially if you're confronted with one of these things, or it can just drop a bomb at you from a few hundred feet. You didn't even know it was there. So let's face it. This is the next level when it comes to technology for war, and some people are using it. And let's face it, if it's just up there And they're saying, well, we don't think it's nefarious. Well, you haven't figured that out. You can't say that because you don't know why it's there. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what kind of information they could be relaying back to the people that are controlling them. Maybe it's part of it's a phase of a plan. You don't know.
I blame Merrick Garland.
What if they're testing it and it has nothing to do with the area they're in, but maybe they're testing it for some other area to use?
Yeah, I mean, that actually makes the most sense to me, that this is just a test to see how we're reacting or what they can get away with.
Right. Or it's like Independence Day, where all of a sudden they show up and they line up across all these cities across the world, and it's a countdown, and you don't know what's going on. They think, maybe we'll talk to them, and all of a sudden, boom, they blow your head off.
Well, if they can't take them out of the air now, I mean, again, I have no idea what I'm talking about here, but if they can't take them out of the air now, well, how are they going to take them out of the air without getting other people? If God knows where they use these things, how would they take them out of the air when they use them some other place?
Yeah, exactly the point.
If we can't take them down to see what the hell's going on now, how are we ever going to take them down someplace without getting innocent people hurt or killed, if God forbid? What happens if these things show up on January 20th somewhere?
Yeah. And what about the question nobody's asking? What the hell's going on in New Jersey?
That sounds... I don't want to sound crazy here, but this whole story sounds crazy already. That it keeps happening, and we don't get any answers, and nothing's changing, and they're just letting it happen night after night, week after week.
Doesn't make sense. It's just I find everything that happens with this administration is they're just inept. It's so many things. Especially when it has to do with anyone about the right, where they'll just let stuff happen.
Test run.
That guy, $50 super chat. I feel compelled to share the blessings the Lord has blessed me with. Give more to Slick and his family. I challenge the LFS6B family to share their blessings with Slick Rick and his family. Thank you all who can give. Amen. Very nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, live from Studio 6B, we'll do some news and some thoughts with Vinnie Mac when we get back right after this.
DJ.
Fly G Patriot in the Twix chat says flying fleets of drones on repeat missions is not a hobbyist. It takes money.
That's right. Yep. This is organized. It takes money. It's organized and it's regular. I mean,
Pitchfork 22 on X says Damon Farmer Brook for odds makers. What did Farmer Brook do in his games though? He wasn't good either though, right? He looked great.
He may have gone 2-2. I have to check.
He was great on camera.
Yes, fantastic.
With the cheese head in the background and the hat, and he's got a great look.
Yeah. Farmer Brook went 1-3.
And I know, if Farmer Brook's listening right now, I know, and I think he'll take this in all of the love that I say it. His pick sucked. He can't come back.
He can't come back.
Cheese head and all. You can't come back.
Oh.
Maybe the cheese head was too tight.
Well, now the audience says Farmer needs another shot.
You know what, Damon? I resemble that remark.
Well, yes, you do. Lori Waddle, $9.99 super chat. Please give towards Memorial Fund for Slick Rick and family. Thank you very much. How did this thing get started tonight? I don't even know how this got started.
What's that?
What?
Well, this whole...
Child of the King.
Child of the King started.
Child of the King started, yeah.
We also have some donations in the Rumble chat as well.
She's what you call a good egg.
We have Kelly48 for Slick Rick's flowers, prayer for Slick Rick and his family.
Wait, you can super chat on Rumble?
Yes, you can. Marty Ken has donated, says my condolences.
I
had no idea you could do that on Rumble.
Janice KM for Slick Rick and his family. And that's all I see so far.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, if you can keep track of those, friend, I had no idea.
You know what?
Clint Leggett, thank you very much. $19.99 for Slick. Thank you very much.
Would it be easier to set up a Give, Send, Go for people to direct them to that?
I mean,
and just keep it in one section. I don't know how this stuff works.
I don't ever ask for just. I like when people get something for them. You know,
I understand.
Buy a T-shirt, buy MyPillow. I don't ever do things like that.
I don't understand. I don't understand how the super chat stuff works. That's why I'm asking.
It's very technical.
It's very easy, honestly.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
No, what else is easy is this read you got to do.
What?
Said what else is easy is this read you have to do.
Oh, That's a great idea.
You know, Fran, we were going along real nice here on the show. Chat was feeling good.
Thank you, Fran.
Hey, here's a super chat from Damon.
This from
$20 for somebody else to do the read.
Yeah, let me super chat I'm going to super chat like 500 right now for someone to do the read. I sound like the blues. 17 past the hour. Let me talk to you about our friends over at My Patriot Supply. We're all feeling pretty good about what the country's heading right now, but you should keep a little bit of concern in the back of your mind, because it's when we let our guard down that bad things can happen. That's why you always need to be prepared for emergencies, no matter how good and comfortable life gets. That's why the only brand you should rely on for security and safety in emergency is our friends over at My Patriot Supply. Whether that be their emergency food kits, solar power generators, or water treatment systems, they are the best in the business. And right now, you can get their 4-week emergency food kit for $50 off. Their 4-week emergency food kit includes some of your favorite meals like creamy Alfredo pasta and addicting snacks like sweet banana chips. With warehouses located all across America, My Patriot Supply can send your 4-week emergency food kit in as little as 1 day. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com to get your 4-week emergency food kit right now. MyPatriotSupply.com. Don't wait, because as you know, emergencies can happen in the blink of an eye at any time. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now to get your 4-week emergency food kit from our friends over at My Patriot Supply. 18 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some news and hear what that is. Rick Delgado. Delgado, what's going on?
All right. Well, let's see. This story, which is, again, going back to the bigger news of the day, we were talking about the shooting of the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson. The brother of the Unabomber, who was mentioned. The Unabomber was mentioned in the quote-unquote writings of the suspected killer of Brian, the CEO, whatever his name is. The brother of Ted Kaczynski came out. The domestic terrorist known as the Unabomber said earlier today, that he hopes the man accused in the murder of Brian Thompson, the United Healthcare CEO, didn't view his brother as a key model and is distressed that his brother's actions decades ago may have motivated people and violence today. For 2 decades, Ted Kaczynski waged a deadly bombing spree that killed 3 people and injured 23 others. Kaczynski had taunted officials in a rambling manifesto and was apprehended following one of the longest FBI manhunts in history. The suspect in Thompson's killing, Luigi Mangione, an Ivy League tech grad, had reviewed Kaczynski's Industrial Society and Its Future, also known as the Unabomber Manifesto, in January, writing on a book review site Goodreads, "It's easy to quickly and thoughtless to write this off as the manifesto of a lunatic in order to avoid some of the uncomfortable problems it identifies," he wrote, "but it is simply impossible to ignore how prescient many of the predictions about modern society turned out." So again, the brother of Ted Kaczynski, David Kaczynski, says, he's hoping that his brother was not an inspiration for this kid, because I guess it's a kind of a stain upon the family.
They both had issues with healthcare, though. Kaczynski apparently, from what I read today, wanted a sex change operation or something like that.
I didn't hear about that.
And this kid apparently has a gripe with this back surgery that didn't go well, and he's in all kinds of trouble. But
I said this yesterday. Didn't I say this? They're trying to blame his back. It's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Meanwhile, he comes from a very wealthy and very well-connected family. That has ties to Nancy Pelosi. Have you seen this?
Oh boy!
Have you seen those connections?
I have seen those.
You know what? I posted it on my Twitter account. I retweeted or re-X'd or twixt a link that this guy put together with all of these, by date, the news story, what it connects, how this connects from this kid to Thompson to Pelosi to how Pelosi's family was big in Maryland, right where this guy is from.
Wow.
And these people, one of the guys is a legislator. They're very well connected. And from what I understand, that part of the family, I guess this kid is a cousin of the well-connected side, but still a very well-to-do and well-respected family in that part of the country. Just an interesting way they laid it all out. And again, it's on my own X account that I twixed out earlier today. So if you want to go check that out, it's kind of a long read, but I think it's pretty interesting. So if you want to check it out,
anybody who writes a manifesto, though,
yeah,
you got to be like, there's something wrong there. There's a mental challenge of some kind there that they're writing a manifesto and getting so freaked out over a particular issue.
Right. And speaking of X and its owner, Elon Musk, we know he's of course he's doing great things, and hopefully he'll be doing great things that'll help this country as well. He made a prediction many years ago that people came across. He actually twixed this out himself earlier today on the media and the internet, and this is from an interview he did in 1998. This is cut number 2. Check this out and see if he's a little Damon Nostradamus-like in this.
What do you see as the future of the internet?
I think the internet is the superset of all media. It is the be-all and end-all of media. One will see print, broadcast, arguably radio, essentially all media folding into the internet. And what the internet amounts to is it's the first of two-way communication medium that is intelligent. It allows consumers to choose what they want to see, when they want to see it, and whether that be radio, whether that be print, whether that be television, broadcast. I think it's going to revolutionize all traditional media.
Yeah. So there it is. Talking about how it's all going to fold into the internet, which, again, that's basically what we're seeing now.
That guy is amazing, isn't he?
Yeah.
Just crazy. Everything. And what he's doing with SpaceX, by the way, we have not even peeled the onion back. He is a go-to guy for some major events going on regarding satellites and so on with SpaceX. He is involved in some big,
I'll bet he could
things.
figure out what's going on over New Jersey in about 10 seconds.
He can drive his Tesla over there and figure it out. Maybe it's just a bunch of kids, Maybe it's just a bunch of kids goofing around. But
just messing around. Wait till we get a hold of them, and then we'll hang them up by their Buster Browns.
There's got to be something about this that we don't know.
Yeah.
That story is pure insanity.
Yeah, and for the FBI and congressional leaders to get so upset about it, it kind of makes you wonder, like, well, what aren't they doing? What aren't they paying attention to?
Yeah.
Anyhow, speaking of Elon Musk, in his and I still don't understand the whole robo-taxi thing. I don't get it.
By the way, they're all over.
You get in the car. There's nobody in there but you.
Right.
You get in, and it takes you where you want to go.
But I have that now. I have a car that I just get into, and I go, and there's nobody in it but me.
You have to drive it.
It just comes and shows up like an Uber would without a driver.
It shows up, you get in, and it takes you where you want to go.
I don't know how safe I feel. As a matter of fact, GM decided they're going to exit.
Safer than you driving, I can tell you that.
GM is going to exit their robo-taxi endeavors, and they're going to, will no longer fund, it's called the Cruise Division, Robo-Taxi Development. They said earlier today it plans to instead realign its autonomous driving strategy, I didn't even know you had one of those, to focus on advanced driver assistance systems and autonomous systems for use in personal vehicles. After spending more than $10 billion in the robo-taxi unit market, they're abandoning their Cruise driverless ride-hailing service. That coming from Detroit's top automaker. As I said, they'll no longer fund that division and will instead fold the unit into the broader tech team. And on that news, GM shares rose 2.3%. So there you have it. I guess people like that move by GM, cutting costs, and I guess they weren't getting the traction.
Certain cities, it's working. Like if you get out to Sunnyvale or San Francisco and so on, they're all over the place. It's not like there are 3 that are being tested. I was in Phoenix not too long ago. They're all over Phoenix. And you get on like an Uber type of app, it picks you up, the door opens once it verifies it's you, it shuts the door, and you don't even think, when you're in it, because it just takes you to where you're going. When you get in a cab or an Uber, you don't really think. You get in there and you're checking your phone, you're doing other stuff, you're not exactly looking where the guy's going. And that's what these things are. You just get in and it's just like a chill out experience.
I want to thank Eldon Wells on YouTube. $50 super chat for Slick. Thank you very much. I saw a couple others come in. I'll try to get back to those as well. But thank you everybody who's donating for the Slick Rick Flowers Fund. It's going to be a very nice bouquet of flowers that we'll send over. So, all right, let's hit the break. We'll come back. Dr. Holly Lucille will join us when we get back. And then we'll do some more news with Vin.
You know those emergency kits you're talking about?
Yeah.
So important. You saw the fires in Malibu? Have you seen them? I mean, it's surrounded Pepperdine. They've evacuated. These people are out of power. They could use these kits, frankly.
Let me see if I can get through a couple of these. Audrey Wolf, super chat for Slick. Thank you very much. Janet Grumley, thank you very much. Eldon Walls, as I said. Jody Pearson, thank you very much as well. Why can't I scroll up any farther? Okay, here we go. Delilah A, thank you very much. Clint Leggett, thank you very much. I think I got these before. Lori Waddle. Angela P, I don't know if I said that one. Mr. Blutarski, I think it's pronounced, thank you. Drag Blacker, thank you very much. I don't think I said that one before. Les Durham, thank you very much. Chris Allen, I think I said. John Lavoie. Mr. AZ Mikey, Lee Davis, Child of the King. I think I got all of these. If I missed any, I apologize. I don't know why this thing doesn't keep them in order that they came in and just keep a list. Like they keep disappearing. I think I got them all. Thank you all very much.
That's going to be one hell of a bouquet of flowers or a tree or
I'm gonna
a lot more.
I'll leave it up to him. What he wants.
Very impressive either way. I want to give a shout out to my folks at Pepperdine, my alma mater, surrounded by flames right now in Malibu. My daughter went there. I went there. We experienced a fire when my daughter was there. When they evacuated, crazy.
Try again. Let me text Michael.
Oh, fires.
It's just so dry.
Phone?
Yeah. Fire. Fires.
Fires.
And you could just look at the mountain.
It surrounded the school. The Santa Ana wind.
All right, hold on. I have another.
Blowing it in.
Can you do, Vin? Do something here.
I was just talking about Pepperdine and.
No. When we come back from commercial.
Not the second.
What? Not the second.
No, when we come back on the air.
Yeah, I'm going to do something. I'll show you something. We got plenty to talk about, by the way. Pete Hegseth, I got some quotes from him.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Glad you're in. Dr. Holly Lucille is going to join us here as soon as we can get in contact with her. We're efforting that right now. But in the meantime, Vinnie Mac is here. Rick Delgado's here as well. Aaron Fran holding it down. Vinnie Mac, you weren't here at all last week. You gave us a little bit in hour one of what you've been caught your attention. What else has been on your mind?
One big thing caught my attention, but before I talk about that, Pete Hegseth was on Fox today. Did you see the interview?
I did not.
He was excellent. And I thought it was just worth repeating what he said, because we talked about Tom Holman, a guy that's just taking no prisoners coming through. Well, Pete basically said, hey, we're going to return the Pentagon to the war fighters. We're going to get in there and clean out all the social injustice, the politically correct garbage at top. We're going to get back to the lethality, war fighting, accountability, meritocracy, and readiness. Like, when you hear people talk like this, it just instills confidence. So, Pete, we're pulling for you, and I hope you get confirmed and everything works out. The guy is awesome. I'm so much more impressed with him because I liked him as a host, or, when he was on TV. But here's the story that really got me going. Another layer of corruption being exposed in a way, but a layer that we knew was there, but it's now out in the open. The Fulton County Superior Court has issued a default judgment against District Attorney Fannie Willis. Remember her? Well, Fannie Willis refused to turn over records that could document her collusion with the January 6th committee and special counsel Jack Smith. And these are things, as we talked about earlier in the show, we're not looking for vengeance, but we are looking for accountability. And Trump said it very well. If they broke the law or they did something wrong, they should be gone after it. And here it is, right in front of our face. For what reason would she not turn over information other than the fact that she's trying to hide that they colluded. And I bet you we find this with Alvin Bragg and all these other folks. So, it's one thing to think about it. It's one thing to talk about it, as we talk about it on the show, and I get into these social media battles with people. But when you actually see it in black and white,
you do what?
When you actually see it in black and white,
you get into social media battles with people.
Oh boy, I got into a doozy today too. But when you get into these social media battles with people who are just off the wall and think you're crazy, and then you see it right in front of your face, they colluded. They colluded with the January 6th committee and with Jack Smith. And you go back to these people after a while, and then the guy told you so. It's just not satisfactory enough. We need them to be taken to account. The other thing is, have you seen the illegal immigration numbers, like what it's actually cost us? 2023 alone, $150 billion. That's what it cost us, the taxpayers, for this flawed policy of letting people fly into this country. That doesn't include 2022 or 2024. That's just for 2023, $150 billion. It's significantly more than World War II cost us, which is $334 billion. The Apollo space program was $257 billion. Think about the waste of money that we went through because Biden and others wanted to let all these illegals into this country. It's not just they're dangerous. It's not just they didn't obey the law. It's not just all of these things that are outrageous. It's now cost us a huge amount of money and counting. I bet you when they're all said and done, got to be about $500 billion when we really calculate this thing. So those are some of the things driving me a little crazy this week.
So how do you feel about Pete Hegseth? I said this yesterday on the show that I feel like, again, I'm a firm believer that this is the hill that they should be willing to die on Pete Hegseth, because again, it's not even about the person. If you give up on Pete Hegseth and they win, they not only go after Pete, they go after Tulsi, they go after RFK Jr., then they start going after policy right after that. It's not just about the people. They go after everything. So, and there's some articles. I saw a good article in the American Thinker today about that Pete Hegseth, or maybe it was, it was in the Federalist, that Pete Hegseth is the hill that you should be willing to die on because of that exact reason. And I feel like that is the tact from J.D. Vance in the last week. We've heard very good stuff. President Trump on Meet the Press, very good stuff. President Trump has truthed out some stuff about Pete. And it seems like the momentum has now gotten behind Pete Hegseth.
Yeah, definitely.
To your point, not just Pete. This is about the broad stroke. It's about RFK Jr. It's about Tulsi Gabbard. It's about a few others that are going to be some pushbacks around, but it's mostly about the rhinos. And we know who the rhinos are. It's about these rhinos that are going to screw up everything that's going on with Trump. And if you noticed what happened with Ernst and Pete, is he met with her a few times, but the social pressure and the talking on talk shows and the social media pressure that Trump and the rest of them putting on these people to not buy into this is extraordinary. And the media is picking it up in a good way. Like it's putting pressure on them. So that's where the rubber meets the road.
Well, they need the pressure. They need to. They need to get the. If they don't fall in line, he should just be, very blunt. You just say, hey, you've heard of you ever hear of a Liz Cheney? Yeah. Okay, I see that in your future if you don't get in line. It's simple as that. They need to be primaried out.
Absolutely.
And Joni Ernst has an election coming up in less than 2 years, so she knows this could be it for her if she doesn't get in line.
I think that's exactly right. Markowski and others. At the end of the day, we talked about this a little earlier in the show. The biggest risk we have overall with Trump winning, and it's an internal risk, is the Republicans not aligning with the House and the Senate and all of them getting together and being on the same page. It is the biggest risk. So all of these people that have been nominated, and especially the ones like Pete who have gotten a little pushback on, which, by the way, is a bunch of crap and a bunch of, loose cannons with no real evidence. It's just the Democrats doing what they do, like they're doing with Tulsi and, Assad. This is the test at the end of the day. And I think Trump and everybody else have to put a full court press on. And Damon, to your point, they have to support these. Matt Gaetz, I get it. I think what happened with Matt Gaetz was, you know what? There's probably something out there that looks a little more legit, Matt. I think you got to step away here now.
Matt Gaetz has gone from congressman to possible attorney general to now going to compete against us as a talk show host.
He's
doing live from Studio 7B, I think that is. So, Matt, good luck with that. Yeah. It's 6-minute abs.
But to your broader points, brings me to Steven Cruiser today over at PJ Media, where our friend Kevin Downey Jr., who appears on this program, also writes great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Steven Cruiser today over at PJ Media says, Republicans have to learn how to stop being pansies when they have the majority. And how many times since 2015, when I started this show with Vin, have we talked about this headline? Not this specific article, because this came out today, but the essence of this whole article. It's constant. It never changes. I've always drawn the analogy, they're like the kids who want the stage, then they get the stage, the lights come on, and they fall into the pit. They have no idea what to do. And that's exactly his point today. He says, anyone who's voted Republican in more than one election quickly becomes familiar with the feeling of feeling exasperated. GOP politicians have a history of not handling success well at all. I can't be precise about how long this has been the case. I can forever. But this past spring marked my 40th anniversary as a Republican conservative activist, and it's been that way my entire life. Every once in a while, a Republican politician will act like he or she won an election. Ronald Reagan, Newt Gingrich, and President Donald Trump come to mind immediately.
Yep.
But it doesn't happen often enough. It is both mind-blowing and disheartening to see how the GOP behaves when it has a majority in Congress. Rather than take advantage of what they know is a temporary situation, congressional Republicans often act apologetic for having been popular with voters. They behave as if they are unworthy of being in charge of the country. Instead of legislating, they showboat. Republicans are very good at grandstanding, holding hearings, giving press conferences to make it seem as if they're responding to the constituents, but never really do anything. Beltway Republicans gravitate towards comfort and seem to have an almost sexual fetish for the status quo.
Oh, that's hard.
That has got to stop. That is exactly right.
Yeah.
That is so well put. It is exactly the encapsulation of everything we talk about when it comes to these Republicans. They are fake, phony opposition. They are not real opposition. When they are in the cheap seats and they are out of power, they're loud, boisterous, drinking too much beer in the stands at Yankee Stadium.
Yep.
Those are those guys. Behind the keyboard, typing nasty things, strongly worded letters. When they're in charge, as he says in the title, they're a bunch of pansies.
And this time around, we have so much momentum behind Trump, so many people behind Trump, the popular vote, of course, behind Trump, the X of the world, Elon Musk, all the people that are surrounded with Trump, and the way he's handling this transition. Right now, it's the first time I recall in a long time, maybe Reagan is the only other time where we had this much mojo going in to combat that, to go against these rhinos that have destroyed our party and allowed the Democrats to run the table.
As a clinically insane party.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the Democrats do one thing really well, and you got to give them credit, because this is how it should be done. They stick together. Now, Nancy Pelosi will ruin your life if you go against the team.
Well, that's because they not only stick together, they know how to use, and they used power to the nth degree.
They do. They're very good at that. It is a strength that they have. The Republicans, I would battle a liberal friend of mine all the time about this, because I'm like, yeah, you Democrats stick together, even if it hurts the country. The Republicans at least are free thinkers, and they'll do what they think is right, even if it goes against the party line. In this case, there's a mandate. And anyone who says there's not a mandate is crazy. All of these it's only the left people on MSNBC talking that there's not a mandate, but there is. It's a major mandate. This mandate must happen. These Republicans must understand that. And that article nails exactly why we've been so weak and have not been able to accomplish things.
Well, and to the point of Hegseth, he says Republican senators must do their utmost to get President Trump's nominees and programs passed.
Right.
But they're not going to do it. And here's the key line we always say: if they're not afraid of the consequences of failing to do so.
Yep. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Why there's a mandate, and where Trump has so much momentum, there is a consequence now. Look at what's happened to Ernst and the back flag. Okay. I mean, this has not been subtle what they've said to her.
No, they can't. You can't be subtle.
It's not been subtle. I've never seen that. Have you? When's the last time you saw the gauntlet thrown down like that?
Well, I'll tell you where I've seen it. Not to the degree that we've seen against Joni Ernst, but just a couple weeks ago, the pick for the guy out of Florida, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
What position was he going to? DEA. The DEA guy. People looked at what he did during COVID and said, well, wait a minute.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Now, they should be doing it on the labor secretary as well, but I don't know. There's some kind of deal struck there, I have a feeling. So I don't know what the deal is with the labor secretary, because she's a disaster. But this guy, Chronister, was a disaster.
That's right. But even Trump saw that, though. Trump did see that and bounced him.
He saw it,
how
but
did
I
he
think
get
he saw
nominated?
After.
Right. Clearly he got nominated, so he didn't see it then.
Right.
Or somebody said, hey, how about this? And I don't know. Same way we got Ray, Fat Chris Christie, but who knows? But he heard people going, wait a minute, you were like batting like Hall of Fame numbers, and then you threw like a total F.
Right.
And then the labor secretary, a total F. Where'd these two come from? And he heard those voices, and now at least one of them's gone. Let's hope the other one eventually, but I don't think we're going to get that lucky with her.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So, all right, let's take a break. We'll wrap it up already on a Tuesday right after this.
Uh-oh. Gonna have to zoom her in. I'm looking at the comments here, and people are feeling the same way. It's like it's about time the Republicans get accountable here. We have to force them to be accountable. The only way you can force them is your vote. Is to threaten them. Yeah, I mean, threaten them and your vote. Like, at the end of the day, that's what we have. That's the power we have. AOC came out denouncing Penny as a murderer. Can you imagine that?
Do we want to?
All right, let's try. I'm not a doctor.
I hear vent. Oh, there it is.
There I am.
I mean, I don't know what to tell her. Said, aren't we on?
Yeah, we're on. You weren't. We are.
I got to reset all that up.
No, forget it at this point. I'm just... Well, how many times did we actually call?
5. It went right to a voicemail, which means she probably wasn't online or visible.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on Do Not Disturb.
Matt Gaetz getting appointed special counsel. What have you heard on that, Rick? Anything?
Nothing yet. It would be fun.
Because there's talk about that to investigate January 6th in the committee.
I'm going to send her that video.
That would be quite appropriate. I'd love to see Matt Gaetz do that. He would be. By the way, it's a great. That's doesn't need any approval for that, does he?
Nope.
He can just be appointed, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That would be an interesting position for him if Trump wanted to help him out. Otherwise, he could do Live from Studio 7B, and we'll be competing against him. And then we'll be. I don't know. I guess we'll support him, right? It's okay. Competition's not bad. They did a parody of him on Saturday Night Live, which was actually funny. Saturday Night Live is finally starting. I'm not saying they're fully, but starting to be funny. They had Church Lady on. Dana Carvey came back and did that, and they had Juan Soto at the end. Did you see that?
No. Unfortunately, they have to go back 30 years to find.
Did you see the meme that says Juan Soto in 2049, and it's a picture of who was the Met pitcher back in the day? He was like 45 years
Cologne.
old. Yes, it was Bartolo Colon.
Bartolo Colon. Yeah.
Yeah. It said Juan Soto in Juan Soto in 2039 or something like that, and it's a picture of. All right, 13 to the hour live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Glad you're in. Vinnie Mac's been here. He's had some thoughts on some things. Aaron and Fran holding it down. Delgado's been doing the news. I want to thank everybody once again for all the super chats tonight, for Slick and for Flowers and his family. A couple more coming in right now. Jacqueline Marshall's super chat on YouTube. Thank you very much. ANKH, is it Anka? Or I'm not sure how that's pronounced. ANKH on YouTube as well. Super chat for Flowers, which we will absolutely deliver for Slick on Thursday and Friday. So thank you all again very, very much. Very much appreciative. I don't even know how. I don't think Slick could even.
It's amazing.
Begin to think that this would be going on right now. So thank you
family.
all very much. Let's do some more news, and then we'll wrap it up, see if Vin has any other thoughts. But Rick Delgado's got the news, brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition. Of course, remember, sports, even though Slick's not here, is always brought to you by our friends over at MyPillow, MyPillow.com. LFS6B is the promo code to use if you're going to shop at MyPillow this week. It gives you an absolutely great savings, whether you're looking for pillows, towels, mattresses, mattress toppers, whatever you're doing your shopping. A lot of it you can get done at MyPillow. Use LFS6B as your promo code. Get the savings off for this audience. Plus, we'll get you a free T-shirt off of our site if you send in your receipt showing that you used our code. We appreciate it. Rick Delgado's got the news. What's going on?
All right. Well, this is a story we've been kind of touching upon ever since Sean Diddy Combs was arrested. Now his partner in crime, Jay-Z, was yesterday named in the suit as well. And, of course, he came out with a strong statement regarding that, challenging the person to charge him criminally instead of just coming after him civilly. But this is something coming from Business Insider. Jay-Z's response to sexual assault allegations was missing one key thing, according to many PR pros. Of course, as we mentioned, he was mentioned in an amended complaint to a lawsuit against Sean Combs filed in October. It accuses Jay-Z, Sean Carter, and Combs of drugging and raping a 13-year-old girl in the year 2000. Experts said that Jay-Z's response could have been stronger if it included an explicit denial of the claim, which it did not. Jay-Z's response to the rape allegations against him is missing that one thing, according to PR experts. The 99 Problem singer, whose real name is Sean Carter, was accused in a civil lawsuit Sunday of drugging and raping, as I mentioned, that girl. Carter responded to the heinous allegations hours later in a statement posted by his company Rock Nation's X account, calling the accuser's attorney Tony Busby deplorable and says he's engaged in a blackmail attempt. Whoever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Wouldn't you agree? The statement read. These alleged victims would deserve real justice if this were the case. Still, the statement doesn't include a flat-out, unmistakable denial that he'd ever engaged in this behavior, like that in the case or otherwise, said Evan Neerman, the CEO of crisis PR firm Red Banyan. I think, according to him, I think Jay-Z was strong in pointing out the heinous nature of the crime and that his views of them are unconscionable, but I would have liked to have a little bit more of a flat denial. So there you have that. And I don't know if you saw this, Damon, and maybe we can call this.
I read that Rock Nation PR put out, and I guess I have to go back and look at it because I thought there was. This is why I commented on that yesterday. I said, if I was accused of something I didn't do, that's the kind of statement I would put out, getting right to it. I thought he did get to it.
Right. But
you're saying they said he didn't.
He didn't say, I absolutely didn't do this. Oh. So, and then, of course, I don't know if you caught this.
Very unlike me to miss things.
From one of your...
Shocking.
One of your favorite guys out there, Jason Whitlock, had former NFL star Larry Johnson describing a party that was hosted by Jay-Z and Beyonce and what he saw. And this was years ago. Check this out. This is cut number 4. Former NFL star Larry Johnson describing this party and what he saw.
So when 11 o'clock hit, we turned on the music, we started drinking, and then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. for a rap party at 11 o'clock at night, drinking loud music and us dancing wild. Like, I don't know where these kids came from. And then I happened to sit down because I was dancing with one of the assistants. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, doesn't this look sexy, or isn't this sexy? And in my mind, and mind you, I'm not awakened as I'm awakened now. So in my mind, I'm like, what did she just say? And then I didn't pay no attention to it. And then, you know, obviously the liquor took hold of me and I had to leave. So I said bye to everybody and left. But those kids remained. I don't know if those kids were from the photo shoot themselves, but the fact that these kids came around adults during drinking hours or partying hours was already alarming to me. So when I hear something like this happens, I can't really discount it and say, oh, he could never do this, because I'm hearing stories, I'm seeing it with my own eyes, and I've been in situations where something don't sound or look right, and it's usually involving children.
Yeah. Pretty crazy, right?
Wow. Whew. Man, it's hard to believe this whole thing, isn't it? Just kids abused at this level?
Yeah.
It's nuts. Major entertainers?
You look disturbed there, David.
I mean, how could you not be disturbed listening to that? I mean, I don't know if one word of it is true, but I mean, where do you come up with that if it's, you know, I mean,
yeah. I mean, it was, that's just a small part of a much larger conversation they had on it, but it was just the part that kind of jumped out at him at first when he first started to notice it. Just kind of strange, because you don't picture that.
He's a former NFL player?
Yeah.
I never heard of him.
And then, of course, you know, it's keeping with sports in honor of Slick Rick. Of course, he's not here tonight. I don't know if you saw this. Mark Gastineau. Did you hear about Mark Gastineau?
I did hear about this, yeah.
How about you, Dame?
No.
He is going after Brett Favre. He actually threatened Brett Favre to his face.
Does he still think he's playing? Is that what the problem is? He thinks he's trying to tackle him, or what?
I don't. Yeah, he's very upset about his sack record, and it's still bothering him. If you don't believe me, check this out. This is cut number 5. This is hard to believe because Gastineau is, you know, from the 80s.
Yeah. Did he sack Brett Favre?
What is the story here?
The story is he's not. Watch the clip because Brett goes up to him like, "Hey man, nice to see you," and that's not the reception he got. Check this out.
Alrighty.
You met a long time ago. At least I saw you.
Right.
How you doing?
You fell down for him. I'm gonna get my sack back. I'm gonna get my sack back, dude.
You probably would hurt me.
Well, I don't care. You hurt me. You hurt me. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
You really hurt me. You hurt me, Brett.
We got to get back to this, Brett. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, weird, right?
I think Brett laid down and made an easy sack for someone, right?
That was getting the record.
Michael Strahan.
Oh, yeah.
So Strahan
overtook
his record?
Right.
He took
by the one sack?
Yeah, there you go.
And that was, 15 years ago when that happened?
That's a little,
isn't that a weird,
it's a big grudge.
It's like Gastineau sounds, well, he's probably close to.
I'll take, who needs a checkup from the neck up for 500, Alex?
He's over 70 at this point, right?
I don't know.
But he's looking to, he wants to fight.
Has anything happened in Mark's life that he's been able to focus on since he left football?
Well, doesn't look like it. No sacks for him in the private
ask Aaron.
sector.
Aaron, what happened to him?
Holy Moses.
Holy shit.
That's one of the weirdest exchanges I think I've ever seen.
Isn't that weird? And again, Brett walks up to him like, "Hey, man, nice to see you." And he puts his hand out to shake it. And he's just like, "You hurt me, man.
I want to get my sack back."
Yeah.
No, you're not. No, you're not, Mark.
Just a weird exchange.
Apparently, this is being featured in the next 30 for 30 on ESPN about this whole story about the sacks.
As always, we salute our military, active and active police, firefighters, first responders, all emergency personnel, all our truckers, all our farmers, everybody that keeps the country moving and safe. Vinnie Mac, Rick Delgado, Aaron Fran, great job as always. Most of all, thank you, the live from Studio 6B audience, family. Thank you for all the donations tonight for Slick Rick. He will more than even know what to say. Appreciate it. We will see you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, right here, live from Studio 6B.